Right, I've been meaning to leave this video for quite some time, especially after a conversation that I had with a colleague a couple of months ago now. It was around about the time that Zoe, which is the massive nutrition company, lots of you will know about Zoe, which is run by Professor Tim Spector. And some news was put out saying seed oils are not bad for you. New research shows that you can consume seed oils safely, they're good for your health. Seed oils are things like vegetable oil, sunflower oil, rapeseed oil. Colza is another word, I think it's French, and canola is the American name for it. Basically anything that comes from vegetables, these are pushed out as healthy. Now, Zoe is a platform that I think probably hundreds of thousands, if not millions now, of people rely on for good nutrition information. So when they put out BS like this, it causes confusion, and people say, well, why would a company like Zoe put out information that is inaccurate? It is based on research. The research is to be found in PubMed. The research has been done. But the research is funded by the British Nutrition Foundation. So when you dig into this stuff a little bit more, there are loads and loads of questions that come up. Who funds the research? How do the people who fund the research profit from the outcome? So in this case, a research paper, which I will link, was put out that said seed oils are not so bad for you, and it was funded by the British Nutrition Foundation. When you look into who they are, this is a charity, which it's pretty easy to set up. It's established in obviously the UK, it's British, and all of their sponsors and the companies, the corporations that back them up include Mars, Tate and Lyle, which is a sugar manufacturer. I think Cadbury's are on there. Nestle, nasty Nestle, responsible for millions of deaths of babies and children worldwide because of their irresponsible marketing of artificial milks, of baby formulas. And I make no apology for that. You can find out all about their nefarious marketing strategies in countries like the Philippines if you go to babymilkaction.org, which is a charity that's been established for the Nestle boycott. Do join the Nestle boycott. So going back to the main point, there's a Professor Sarah Berry, who is the main lead research officer at Zoe. Her name is across a lot of these papers, which are funded by the British Nutrition Foundation. And obviously, wherever there is confusion in the general public, then the right information is confounded, conflated, confused with incorrect information, which leads people to throw their hands up in the air and say, do you know what, I'm done with this, I can't find out the good information, this expert says that thing, the other one says this thing, I'm just going to give up and have what I want. I don't care anymore. And that's exactly walking straight into the trap, because as soon as you throw your hands up in the air, you go straight for whatever it is that you fancy, and your body is primed to want sugar and quick fix carbs, glucose, all of the kinds of foods that these companies, Nestle's all about brand foods. Mars makes chocolate confectionery, but it's not even real chocolate. Half of it's just vegetable oils, cheap rubbish. Basically, it's stuff that's going to drive things like cancer, diabetes, heart disease, generally feeling unwell, fatigue, mitochondrial dysfunction. It's not going to have you boosting your health and driving great skin, amazing detoxification. It's going to drive issues like Alzheimer's and cancer, basically. Alzheimer's is now type 3 diabetes. So what I want to do is to make sure that you're aware that these companies have a vested interest in making sure that you buy their products, and the way that they're doing that is to spread confusion. So my take-home message is, do not consume seed oils. there has been no mention of something called oxidation. So as soon as these seed oils are taken out of the shell, out of their protective shell, they're exposed to air and they oxidize, which means that they become rancid. And it doesn't matter if they're organic, GMO-free, allegedly, whether they are cold pressed, because as soon as they're exposed to the air, they will oxidize, which causes them to become rancid, which means that you then have oxidative stress, which will be a detoxification problem in your body. It will drive inflammation, and inflammation will drive other disease processes. So my biggest advice to you would be to get all the seed oils out of your cupboards. Be very careful who you listen to in the world of the Zoes of this world and the mainstream media for nutrition information. Go back to source and find out who's funding this information, who profits from that information.